Guys, it's Sunday afternoon.
It
And
is.
we're hiding in the basement for the wife and kids. What's
Yeah.
going on? Hey,
I'm not,
Dan.
I feel a little weird right now.
I know. I feel strangely odd that we're doing this on a Sunday afternoon. Here we are. Let me bring this up and let me make sure we got some audio. Sunday
Oh,
afternoon.
I hear it.
Yep. You
I've
hear
got
it?
it on my. Yep.
All right, we got it. We got audio. We're going live. So today, everybody, Dan and I are here. Tonight is the SAG Awards, the 25th anniversary show. That's going on for a quarter of a century, which is fantastic. And
Almost as long as almost as long as we've been doing this. Just a
yeah,
little longer.
just a little bit longer than we've been doing Appletinis with Ken. Let me find out if we're going good over here on YouTube, and we are. So
And I'm sharing out, so that
yeah,
is done.
there
I see
you go.
Dwayne.
Dwayne is on. Hey, Dwayne, thanks for joining us. Victor
Fellow
Coco is on.
Dwayne is a fellow SAG member. He should have been voting, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
I
I
think
believe
so.
so. If you want to, if you're watching us on the Actors Club Facebook page, if you want to see your comments pop up in our window, you have to go over to the Appletinis. Unfortunately, I can't add the Actors Club's comments to the feed right now. I can only add the Appletinis ones. So if you're at the Actors Club page, just hop on over to the Appletinis page. I know it's complicated, but I think you guys can do it. So
All right.
let's go. So Dan, how
So
was it this year watching all the nominations?
I feel like I watched more nominated films this year than any other year. I had my list. I lost it. Sorry, I'm pulling up the nominations listing here. Um, yeah, so I feel like I got started much earlier this year
Hmm.
because usually you come out of Christmas and then you start getting the screeners and you're racing to try to watch them all before we have to vote, which I'm always surprised at the turnaround time. We our voting deadline was Friday. I
Yes.
actually I actually voted. Melissa helped me. We were driving up to New York, and we cast our votes while we were driving. So she would read me the nominations, and then she made my votes there.
Okay.
Um, so they just closed the voting on Friday, and tonight is the
You weren't voting and driving then.
no no
Melissa,
no.
Melissa was taking care of that.
Melissa was running the
All right.
show,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
and she may have helped me rethink a couple of my votes, but.
Okay.
But
All
she
right.
watched all the nominated films with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there were some great, um, just great movies this year. Some hard decisions on some of these.
Oh,
Some of
absolutely,
these.
man. There were so
Yeah.
many hard decisions. And as we get through it, and we'll talk about that, the one thing that I was trying to separate myself from was the overall movie and the performance within the movie.
Yeah.
Because there were some movies that was like, it's not a great movie, but the performance is really good.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's where we need to be as actors voting on the SAG Awards. We have to do that. We have to separate ourselves from the overall film and focus in on the performances that were nominated.
Right.
So, uh, Dan, where's your jacket? And it's an award show.
See, I didn't really. One second.
Okay, all right. Jeez. Here we go. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. And oh, there it is. There it is. Very nice.
All right.
All right. Good. Very good. All right. Now it's formal. Now we can move on. All right.
Is
Now,
that better?
yes. Now we can move on. That's
All
fantastic.
right.
All right. So Dwayne comes on and says, "A Star is Born" for Best Picture. All right, Dwayne. I don't disagree, but that's an Oscar award.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
not a
do Best
SAG award.
Picture.
So we don't do Best Picture here. We do Best Cast, which they're nominated for, and individual actor performances, Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga. We'll get into that as we get into the show. But hey, let's start right out and jump right into it. Since Dwayne brought up A Star is Born, we might as well just go and
Let's go.
and jump in right there and
I
do
just
that.
I just lost a light. Let me go fix something real quick.
All right, go ahead, man. I'll talk. I got this all. So our first award is going to be Outstanding Cast in a Motion Picture. That's the first award we're going to talk about. All right, you got your
And
light
that,
back.
yeah, and that's our big one. For that's the SAG Awards equivalent of Best Picture. It's the best cast on a whole
Yep, on a whole,
So
the best cast. And here are your nominations this year. Of course, A Star Is Born. We already talked about. I want to bring that up right now. What do we have next? We have Black Panther. All right, Black Klansman. Then we have Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek. I'll bring that up right here. And Crazy Rich Asians. And I have a picture for them as well. So give me 1 second to find it. And I'll bring that up. There we go. And there we go. Crazy Rich Asians. So those are the choices, the nominations.
now,
right
how many
there.
how many of those did you see?
I saw all of them.
Okay, the only one I missed was Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay, yeah, very funny movie. And fun.
I
Romantic
will catch
comedy.
it, but I missed it before. That one we only got in digital format, and I just didn't get to that one before the voting deadline.
Okay. Yeah, it was a really fun movie. It was entertaining. Now, everybody in the cast was good, but I felt that it did not beat, in my opinion, A Star Is Born.
Yeah,
I felt that Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott, Andrew Dice Clay, Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle was amazing.
Oh, he
Like,
was fantastic.
it was such a like understated thing from him. He usually is that Dave Chappelle kind of that there's an energy to him, but he's kind of he almost very tired, like run down and tired. And it was I thought he was great. He could have gotten a supporting nomination just as easily as Sam Elliott.
Sure. And again, it was it was tough because you had Black Klansman, which was such a good cast as well, and Bohemian Rhapsody. They had a really good cast, but I didn't think the other characters in Bohemian Rhapsody. He chewed up a lot of the scenery.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't feel like they had equal time.
And that's like you were talking about a little bit before about when we'll get to this when we get to that category, but you were talking about a great performance separated from an okay movie. And I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was an okay movie, but he gave a great performance in it. But yeah, I voted for A Star Is Born as well.
Okay, we agree.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
Fantastic ensemble.
Yes, it was a great ensemble, and not to say that Black Panther wasn't great, and the Crazy Rich Asian movie. They were all fantastic movies. I was entertained. I went to the theater and saw Black Panther, and we watched Crazy Rich Asians with the family on a Friday night, and we loved it. But I just felt that A Star Is Born overall just hit it out of the park with the performances.
Yeah.
So you left that movie really feeling like they pulled on your heartstrings, the whole time. So.
And I don't know if you saw it last night. She actually brought him up on stage at her Vegas residency, and they sang "Shallow" together.
I did see that. I didn't watch the performance, but I saw that they had done that. So, yes, it does, Jamie Nash. It's we're less drunk right now, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be drunk later today because
that's correct.
Yes, we're going to the SAG Awards screening party in Washington D.C. tonight with other SAG members from our local. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out there in D.C. tonight with our brothers and sisters watching the SAG Awards all together in one big room. They're going to have games, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. So that's why I'm drinking water now, or a big glass of vodka. Who knows?
or ginger ale that looks like something else.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Ginger ale. Mm-hmm. What's your new favorite drink again? Ginger ale and what?
Bourbon.
Ah, see? How do we know there's no bourbon in there? I'm just saying.
It's a little light in color.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite as
as
dark as it would be.
I can color correct that.
We can fix that in post.
All right. So, moving on. So, the outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role. So that takes us right into Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
But let's start with the way I have this listed here. First off is Emily Blunt, who is nominated for Mary Poppins Returns. Glenn Close in The Wife, which I just watched this morning. I watched some of it prior to voting, but I watched the whole film. And it was very, very good. Very, just an outstanding job she did. But I don't think, when I give you my pick, I don't think she was quite up to snuff. Olivia Colman for The Favorite. Of course, Lady Gaga for The Star Is Born, and Melissa McCarthy, who did a fantastic job in Can You Ever Forgive Me, which kind of blew me away, that film. I really thought it was really good. Really good.
And the hard thing is so I didn't get around to The Wife, and I didn't get around to The Favorite yet. And the hard thing with this is just trying to watch everything before you have to vote. You have to vote based on what you saw, and so I saw the other three, and I really thought I'd be going Gaga the whole way, but
that was funny.
Yeah,
I'm going Gaga. I'm going Gaga over here.
Typically, but the last nominated film I watched was the Can You Ever Forgive Me, and that was something I don't think we've seen from her before, from Melissa McCarthy, and that ended up being my vote. I thought she was fantastic in that, and just really and she, even when she does her comedy, she's completely committed to it, and she's completely sincere in what she's doing. But I just, for me, this was another level of what she said. Happy Time Murders.
Now, while she was good in Happy Time Murders, Jamie Nash, I couldn't vote for her for the SAG Awards for Happy Time Murders. Maybe the Oscar. But,
there you go.
I think she got snubbed in the Oscar selections for the Happy Time Murders. So you said you didn't see The Favorite. Did you see that?
No, not yet.
Okay, that movie shocked me. Funny. It was a good story. All the acting, all the performances were fantastic. So my pick is Olivia Colman, who played the Queen in the movie, and she was hilarious, and she was crazy. I mean, she was the crazy queen, and she did crazy things, and it was brilliant what she did with that role. Also, Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz were also both excellent in that film, and they're also nominated for a SAG award. But Olivia Colman, I mean, she stood out above everybody else, and she's been in a ton of stuff. She's in Broadchurch. She's been in like Sherlock. She's been in all these huge shows in the UK, and I mean, she just crushed it as the Queen in this role, and I voted for her. I loved Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. I loved Lady Gaga. I loved Melissa McCarthy, but I really thought Olivia Colman hit it out of the park. So, go ahead.
And so far through the award season, it's been sorry, there's a little bug flying around in here. It's been Gaga or Glenn Close that has won, and they actually tied for the Critics' Choice Award. So my guess is that it's going to be one of the two of them that actually wins tonight. But you never know with the SAG Awards. Sometimes there's always a little wrinkle that gets thrown in there by the it's a different voting group than the Oscars or the Critics' Choice or anything like that.
And Jamie, I'm wearing my Men in Black costume because it's an award show. That's how you're supposed to dress, like a Men in Black, right? You're supposed to wear black tie stuff. You're supposed to look professional, I guess. I know I'm.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Ken?
I don't know. You look great, Dan. What are you talking about? You got a jacket on. You just, you casualed it down a little. That's all. So Amy Young jumped on board. Hey, Amy Young, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. We're talking SAG Awards. We've already done Best Cast, which was A Star Is Born. We both picked that. And then we just finished Best Female Lead acting role. I picked Olivia Colman, and Dan was...
Melissa McCarthy.
Yes, Melissa McCarthy. All right. So moving on. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role. I nominated myself, and no, it didn't work. It didn't go over well. So,
I write myself in every year, no matter what's going on.
And
one year, man.
And I lost again. All right, so here we go. Here are some real. This is a tough category, and they're all tough, but some are tougher than others. Let's see here. Christian Bale for Vice. Look at that. Look at the difference right there from the regular Christian Bale and his Dick Cheney, which
now he's one of those guys. If you've ever seen, they showed. So he was in that movie. Is it The Machinist?
Yep.
And he was he starved himself for months. He looked like a prison camp survivor.
Yep. He did.
And then he bulked up for Batman, and then putting on this weight. Now, granted, a lot of that's fat suit, but he also put on weight to play this role. So he's one of those guys that's willing to physically go through those transformations for his roles.
Yeah, I worry about that sometimes for some of those actors that go that dramatic with the
Yep.
Machinist. Wow, he really put himself in a health risk right there.
Yeah, well,
But
Matt Damon. Did you ever see Courage Under Fire?
yeah, yep,
So he lost, but he wasn't Matt Damon at that point. He was just some guy that was
yeah,
in the movie. He wasn't the star yet, so he didn't have the health person with him and
sure.
the nutritionist, and so he did it just by eating tuna fish only.
Nope.
And they were worried that he might have shrunk his heart and caused
Mercury
some lung.
poisoning, all
Yeah.
kinds of fun stuff. All right, next is Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Then we got Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. Viggo Mortensen for The Green Book. And then of course Mahershala Ali sitting behind him. We'll get to him later. And John David Washington for Black Klansman.
Yeah.
All right, man. Who do you got in this category? Because it's a tough category.
It is tough. I think the favorite, based on what I'm seeing from other award shows, and it is probably Rami Malek. Everybody's kind of going nuts about his performance as Freddie Mercury. But for me, I from the second I saw it, I talked about it with you. Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born. To give that performance, what I was blown away about, and we're also going live on our Actors Club feed, so
Sure.
we talk in there about listening all the time and listening and being present and that connection instead of just thinking about your next line, just being in that moment. And he was completely locked in to that scene when they sing "Shallow," or just the way he looks at her, the way he listens to her, and he's. And the drunk level, playing drunk is probably one of the hardest things to do,
Yeah.
without it becoming a caricature or a cartoon.
Yep.
And he did that completely convincingly. And he did all of this while working as a director for the
Yep.
first time, and working with a first-time star of a feature film. Gaga's acted before, but not as the lead in a movie.
Yeah. And she was fantastic.
He juggled all that. He learned. I mean, he can obviously sing, but he created this version of his voice, which wasn't his real singing voice. So all of those things factoring together, for me, it's Bradley Cooper. That's where I voted.
Okay, that's a good pick. I mean, he deserves it. And any of these guys deserve it. I mean, Christian Bale in Vice, fantastic job. I did feel at times he was doing his Batman voice when he was talking really low. So I did get that vibe. I was like, oh my God, is that Batman right now? I'm here.
George Bush.
Yes, exactly. And then Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born, again, great performance. But I think there's a pick out there that people don't expect, and I'm going to go Viggo Mortensen for The Green Book. I really enjoyed that movie. That was my favorite. If I had to say best picture, but we're not doing that, I would say Green Book is probably my choice for that. And Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, he could have been nominated as the lead as well. So I know they have to separate it, but it could have been either guy. But Viggo Mortensen as that character, I mean, he embodied that guy, and he was fantastic. I got to go with him, how he did that. And there's a guy who went out and gained weight and kind of got out of shape. To play that role. So. And
you can't argue with any of these five. They were all fantastic. Like I mean, this was the hardest category I think for me. It just because you could easily make a case for any of them.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So yes, Jamie Nash says Green Book was his favorite pick too, and he's a little disappointed that Ken Arnold didn't get nominated for Christmas Ranch. So,
we all are.
Yes, we all are. We all every year we're like, maybe I'll get like a lifetime achievement award one day for Christmas Ranch. I lost Dan Franco. He went question mark on me. That's all right. I'm going to continue the show myself, and I'll make all Dan's picks. Let me go to my window here and see if I can bring him back. Let's see what he's doing. Let me disconnect. Let me reconnect. There he is. Yeah, I got you back, man. I just lost you for a second there. You went question mark on me. and then I got you back.
Dan Franco as the Riddler.
Yes. So yeah, I know people can convincingly play drunk every Monday night on Facebook. Of course we can. We're method actors. We're method actors. All right, so I had Viggo Mortensen, and you had Bradley Cooper. Moving on to.
But I think Rami's going to win.
Okay, you think he's going to win? All right.
Which bums me out because he didn't actually do the singing.
Yeah. So tonight, bring your picks with you so we can keep score.
Yep.
All right, I'll have mine. I'll put them in my pocket and bring them with me because I'm gonna wear that. No, I'm not. I'm going casual tonight.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not wearing anything formal. All right. Outstanding performance by a female in a supporting role. So you have Amy Adams for Vice, Emily Blunt for A Quiet Place, Margot Robbie for Mary, Queen of Scots, Emma Stone, The Favorite, which I've seen, and Rachel Weisz for The Favorite. And again, a really tough category to pick because they're all really good. But my pick is Emily Blunt for A Quiet Place.
Same here.
Yeah, I thought she was fantastic in that. And I don't even think it's a supporting role. I think it's a lead.
Yeah.
So
I think that exact same. I think they realized that she was going to be up against herself.
Yeah.
So they split that. She, and the fact that she didn't get an Oscar nomination for that role is that for me is that and Bradley Cooper for directing were two of the biggest snubs from the Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
Just that scene where she hits her toe on the nail or hits her foot on the nail and then has the whole pregnancy.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. So
to be able to do that with that intensity and that level of awareness, to not drop out of it was fantastic. Yeah,
Jamie went.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jamie went Margot Robbie. I didn't see that one, but feel free to tell us why you went Margot Robbie. Jamie.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that full film yet, so I can't say whether or not. That's one of the ones I missed, Mary, Queen of Scots. It's on my list. Of course, I will watch it, but I missed it.
It just confused me because she had the white paint on, but I was looking for the rest of the Suicide Squad.
Were you?
Yeah.
The baseball bat and the tight little shorts? Me too.
Yeah, I was absolutely looking for those. Which, by the way, James Gunn, now that he's been exiled from Marvel land, is going to write and direct the second Suicide Squad. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, so our pick for supporting actor, female actor, Emily Blunt. Quiet Place. Yes. Fantastic. All right, moving on. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role.
Oh, wait. Before we move on, who do you think will win?
Emily Blunt.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Emma Stone has become kind of the favorite. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if she won, but I think Emily Blunt will win as well.
Yeah, me too, because she's not going to win the lead.
Right.
But I think this is the one that she'll get right here. This award. So this one, outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role, for me was the hardest, and this because everybody in it is so strong and all the performances are so great. This is the hardest category for me to pick out of everything, and you can't go wrong with any of them, right?
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali, right, for The Green Book. Timothy Chalamet in A Beautiful Boy. Wait a second. Where's his shot? There it is. There's his shot. Timothy Chalamet, who is turning out to be the next. I don't even know. He's so fantastic in everything he does. So he had the nomination last year for the Peach movie. I call it. What's the name of it?
Was that same? Call Me by Your Name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam Driver for Black Klansman this year. Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born. Oh my God, Sam Elliott. Wow, right?
Yeah.
It's about time, right? He wins. And then this one right here, Dan, talk a little bit about this right here. Richard E. Grant for Can You Forgive Me? How fantastic was he in that movie?
He was unbelievable. So, and I think this is really hard because, and like you said, it was a very, very hard category. I wanted to vote for Mahershala. like you said, he might as well have been the lead of that movie as well. But the you kind of have these two actors who are just the everyman actors who've been in everything.
Yeah.
I went with Sam Elliott because I've loved his work since way back in Mask
Okay.
with with Cher and Eric Stoltz, and he is fantastic in everything he does. He's so simple and understated, and I really appreciate that in actors. And I think we talked about it. He's like just the bass underneath the band playing. He just kind of grounds everything that he does. So that was my vote, but I wanted to vote from Ursula. If Sam Elliott wasn't nominated, I probably would have voted Richard E. Grant because he's another one of those guys that has just done so much phenomenal work through his career. He's been in The Player. We were talking about he was in Warlock.
Warlock, yeah.
He's one of those guys that's been around and just doing everything he does. He's phenomenal in. He was just in Logan last year, and that character was again another drunk character, but he was so great in that, and so yeah, and Adam Driver was fantastic. I didn't see Beautiful Boy yet, so but I know Timothée Chalamet is great in everything he does as well. But of the four that I saw, I mean, how could you? You can't. Whoever you voted for, you were right.
Yeah, they deserve it. Any of them.
Yeah.
Any of them who walk away with the award tonight was well deserving of it. Like I said, Mahershala Ali could have got the lead actor role. I don't know why. I guess they want to get them both an award. I hope that's the case.
Yeah. And technically, the movie starts with Viggo and ends with Viggo. So
yeah.
He's the lead.
Story. Yeah, he's the story. Yeah. I get it. My vote is Timothée Chalamet for A Beautiful Boy. Yes, Jamie Nash. He is the next Leonardo DiCaprio. And I actually think he's going to be better. So. And
John Travolta in Gotti. Oh,
that's a Razzie. Yeah, I think that's a Razzie. That's good acting right there. I like it. I see what you're doing. Yep, that's good. That's good stuff. That's all good stuff. And that was a clip, ladies and gentlemen, of John Travolta as Gotti, as done by Dan Franco. Thank you, sir. All right, so my pick was Timothée Chalamet. I loved Beautiful Boy. I thought it was a fantastic film. He did an excellent job in it. Anytime you have to play a heroin addict, and I mean they were spot on with all of that in that film. So it was good to see, but hard to watch. And we watched that film, and for days, did Dan Franco freeze up on me? He's not going to go ? Again, is he? Uh-oh. So Timothée Chalamet was my pick. Let me bring Dan Franco back here. We'll kick him out. We'll disconnect him. We'll reconnect him. There he is. Got you back. All right, you're back on, man.
You didn't want to hear about John Travolta and Gotti.
No, you froze up, man. Yeah. You froze up. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So, Jamie said John Travolta and Gotti was a big snub. Yeah,
it was. It was a huge snub. Sorry. Yep, Tim Chalamet by Jamie Nash. Jamie Nash says Tim Chalamet is his pick as well. But again,
and I do wonder what impact so he got snubbed for the Oscar nominations, and that was before SAG folks had to vote. So I wonder how many people will vote for him because he got snubbed by the Academy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes,
I am an amazing freeze actor, Jamie.
He is. He can play that statue in the park. I think he's done that. So.
No.
I was like, shit, you did that so well. I was like, oh shit, I gotta disconnect him and add him back again. He did freeze up. All right, so here's the fun one. You ready? Yep. Outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp was the first one.
Yep.
Then, of course, Avengers Infinity War is the second nomination. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, which was on Netflix. I watched that recently. Then, of course, you have The Black Panther. And Mission Impossible Fallout was the last nomination. So, of course, we're biased here at our show because one of our own was actually on the stunt crews of 2 of the films.
Yep.
Gary Peebles, who's out of Atlanta now, and he was in Black Panther, and he was Drax's stunt double in Avengers: Infinity War.
And that was what put it over the top for me.
So that's the one you went with.
I went with Avengers, but and Jamie talked about Mission Impossible. He actually did that Halo dive, and so they always try to ramp up the stunts on those Mission Impossible movies, but that's one stunt. Avengers had just the entire movie was stunts.
Yeah.
And most of them practical.
And
to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, you can't compete against Black Panther or Avengers as far as amount of stunts performed in a film because of the battles in Wakanda out on the field, when they're fighting in both movies. It's insane how many stunts that they did in both of those movies. But again, I'm going to go with Avengers: Infinity War because he was the stunt double for Drax.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's in Black Panther as well, but we see him in the one. I got a feedback going. I'm hearing.
Do you?
Yeah, somehow.
I hear something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. You don't have your volume up over there, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
I hear like a it almost sounds like the ocean.
Oh, that's my computer.
Okay.
That's the drive is going. It's going.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the drive of my computer.
No, I'm not getting an echo on this end. That's what I was hearing.
All right, here we go. So we both agree Avengers: Infinity War. And Jamie, you can just shut up about Mission Impossible. Come on.
He keeps throwing all the Scientologists out. Oh, here we go. Mission
The
Impossible.
Halo jumped the rooftop. I see it. He cruise flew a helicopter. I don't care. It's all practical.
That's right. So yeah, there were some great stunts in there.
Yeah.
But I voted for Gary because,
Gary.
when I can, I vote for my friends.
That's right. Yes. And I love those movies. I like the Mission Impossible movies too. Hey, there's Robert Neal Marshall. What's going on, buddy? How are you this Sunday afternoon? Get in here. Throw your picks in, will you? All right. Television nominees.
So we're through the movies then.
Yeah, the movie section is done. We're
all right.
We're on to television nominees.
This was easier for me because I have a couple of shows that I'm just all in on. So when they came up, that's where my vote went.
All right. So, outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series. You ready? Here we go. Here are the nominations: Julie Garner for Ozark, Laura Linney for Ozark, Elizabeth Moss, The Handmaid's Tale, Sandra Oh, Killing Eve, and Robin Wright, House of Cards. Who you got?
In this one, I let Melissa take my vote because the only one of those I've seen is House of Cards so far, and I don't love Claire Underwood. So we voted for Sandra Oh in Killing Eve.
Okay. I think she does a great job in that. Now, I watched one episode of each that I hadn't seen, just so I can get a feel for it. Like, I would put it on and I'd be working and, checking it out as I'm going along.
Right.
But I don't think any of the ones that I saw, like Elizabeth Moss, Sandra Oh, Robin Wright, although they in the episode I watched, they were good. I saw the character growth of Laura Linney over the seasons of Ozark that I thought was really incredible. So, and I like that show a lot. So I went with Laura Linney for my pick.
That's a show I haven't jumped in on yet, but I want to. I've got it. It's on my probably after Game of Thrones comes and goes this year. I'll probably jump into that over the summer. So, and Bob obviously got to work with Robin Wright in this last season of House of Cards, which, she's the reason House of Cards was able to come back, because when all that stuff went down, they were able to throw everything on Claire Underwood's shoulders and have that final season.
Yep. And she did a great job. I think this season of House of Cards went off the wall, but how couldn't it? I mean, they were scrambling.
It started there.
Yeah, they were scrambling to make it work, and they did a good job, but still it got a little crazy. and she did a fantastic job, and she held it together, and they got through a final season, which was fantastic for the production people in our state and locally. So that was fantastic for everybody who works on House of Cards, that they were able to finally get that final season in, because it almost looked like it was not going to happen.
Yeah, and Bob even said the show was ready to close. I feel like I didn't make it through the second to last season. I could tell that they had lost, that they changed their head writer, the showrunner. Bo Willimon wasn't there anymore, and it just felt different. So
yeah, it did. You're absolutely right. But yeah, Robert got to work with her, and if it wasn't for him, I would have voted for her. I mean, he brought her down. No, I'm kidding, Robert. I'm kidding. Of course, you were fantastic. You were fantastic. That was a great scene. You did a fantastic job.
And we love that you were in the trailer this year. That was great.
Yep. So, all right, moving on. Let's move on to outstanding performance by a male actor in a drama series. Jason Bateman, Ozark. Sterling K. Brown, This Is Us. Joseph Fiennes, The Handmaid's Tale. John Krasinski, Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan. And Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul.
Right.
So, again, this one for me was a tough one because John Krasinski was fantastic in Jack Ryan. Bob Odenkirk he nails it as Better Call Saul. Jason Bateman's really good in Ozark. And Sterling K. Brown is fantastic in This Is Us. So, Joseph Fiennes, I watched one episode of Handmaid's Tale, but he wasn't in it that much, so I was like, whatever.
Right.
Or I didn't pay attention enough to see him in it. So, my pick was Jason Bateman. Again, I love the show Ozark's my favorite, on one of my favorites on TV right now, and I just think that his character is just complex, and he's always trying to manipulate everyone to get things done and do cover his tracks, and he just keeps making mistake after mistake. So it's the reason why I voted for him. So
yeah. So Sterling K. Brown is probably one of my favorite actors right now. Period. So that's where I went.
Okay, reason? Can you give us a reason?
I love the, again, simple. He doesn't look like he's acting. He's just real and sincere in the moment, and that always stands out to me. He caught me. The first thing I saw him in was the People versus O.J. Simpson, the American Crime.
Yep.
And he played Darden, and
great.
And I just, ever since, and then This Is Us came out right after that, and I love the character. I love his work, and he's one of my favorites going right now. So that's where my vote went.
Yep. Kevin Stokes jumped on and said his wife can't watch an episode of This Is Us without crying. The guy, he plays the role so well. Look, I gotta be honest. Your light went out again.
Yeah, you noticed that?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Go ahead.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I gotta be honest, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan of This Is Us. It feels too soap opera-y to me. So that's just where I'm at with it. So I've tried to watch it a number of times. I've tried to tune in, but when I watch it, I feel like I'm watching a nighttime soap, which it is in a way. But
the thing is, they manipulate the situations to create dramatic stuff, and so you can I can see, but what the actors are asked to do, they do phenomenally. So,
yeah, it's just in my opinion, it's not my kind of show. So
gotcha.
That's what I can say. I just I'm not into it. John Krasinski, I could have voted for him for. I like Jack Ryan. It was good. You ran out of your other light now?
No.
There we go. Are they set like on timers?
No, I mean maybe I think they're just I don't know how fast they eat through the battery.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Jamie Nash says he hates to watch it because he's cold-hearted. That's just mean.
And I liked. I saw Bob posted that that's another one he worked with. He was in a scene with Krasinski on Jack Ryan. So and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the show, but it didn't stand out to me as the best. Yeah.
I should wear a tie more often, Robert, Neil Marshall. I'm in my Men in Black outfit, as Jamie so aptly pointed out earlier in the show. All right, outstanding performance by a female actor in a comedy series. Are we ready? This is
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Jamie's Kirk versus Picard
yes.
joke there. Nice. Very nice.
Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Alison Brie for Glow. Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I got a picture for that one. There she is. Boom.
Yep.
And I also have for Alex Borstein, I have a picture for her as well. Fantastic show, Miss Maisel, and we'll get into that more in a second. Jane Fonda for Grace and Frankie, and Lily Tomlin for Grace and Frankie. Both. It's an outstanding show, very funny. But my pick for this year was Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She plays Susie on the show, her manager.
Yeah.
She is hilarious. She is one of the funniest characters on TV right now.
This second season is really kind of, her character has taken so many steps forward and been a bigger impact on the show. But last year, I don't know how it happened. Maybe they didn't come out in time for the screeners to hit the SAG Awards, so they were nominated for nothing last year, and they missed the SAG Awards. So I was trying to decide between Rachel Brosnahan and Alex Borstein, and I went with Rachel Brosnahan because it's her show, and she's like a force. Yeah. She's a force of nature on that show.
Oh, she
is.
She is. So, but you know, like you said, I think her season was the first season. I think the second season was Susie's season because her character grows more. And I mean, you can't have one without the other.
Right.
You know, and they both do such a great job. Now, on my thing, I have Alex circled, but I have a star over Rachel because I think Rachel's going to win.
I agree.
But those were my picks. And it's not to say that Alison Brie wasn't funny and good in Glow, and Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, they're fantastic in Frankie and Grace. But I just had to go with, I had to move on and you know, pick new blood, new people.
Right.
You know? Robert says Lily Tomlin is one of his longtime favorite actors, so legendary, of course. Yes, she is. And Jamie Nash went with Rachel Brosnahan.
Yeah.
So, yep. And Jamie Nash also said she amazes him that she can pull off that stand-up, which, yes. And you know what's also good about that show, though, that, you know, and it's, we don't give away writing awards. The writing is so good. And
it's just razor sharp. Yeah.
And when you're given material like that, to just open your mouth and say it, man, it's going to be great. It really is.
And it comes full circle because when you have Tony Shalhoub and Kevin Pollak and Rachel Brosnahan and Alex Borstein to write for, I mean,
I mean, they're going to take whatever you do and just make it gold or platinum in this case, because I think this Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is the best show on TV, period, right now. In my opinion, I think it is.
I agree.
All right. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a comedy series. And this one was the toughest one for me because, let's go. Alan Arkin for The Kaminsky Method. Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method. Again, it's kind of like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, you know, legendary actors, you know, playing against each other. It's fantastic. Bill Hader and Barry. Have you watched that show, Barry?
I watched the pilot, and I really liked it, but then it didn't bring me back. For whatever reason, I just never went back and saw it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Barry. Tony Shalhoub, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You know, Kevin Pollak is just as good. Any of the, you know, and the mom is just as good. And I mean, they're all. It's a great cast, fantastic. And Henry Winkler for Barry. And I really love Henry Winkler. Anything he does, he's so funny.
Yeah,
he's really good. No, I mean, we all remember him as the Fonz, of course, but you can't forget him in The Waterboy. You know, you can't. Yeah. He's just great. I mean, he's just great, and he has a good sense of humor, and he's a nice guy. He's a genuine nice person. So, all right. So, who's your pick here? Outstanding performance by a male actor in a comedy series.
I went with Tony Shalhoub. I haven't seen Kaminsky yet, so that being said, I went with Shalhoub because especially season 2, his character starting out from going over to France
Yeah.
and trying to get his wife back, and then all the stuff with his kids betraying him in his eyes, and it just he had a great season, and I loved him in season 1 too. I mean, he's another one that I've been a fan of for such a long time, and so
Cool.
I love everything he does.
Hey, Andy. I don't know what that means, Robert. You saying hi to somebody who's on? Or
I
not
didn't
on?
see it, Andy.
I don't know. Okay, so Jamie Nash picks Tony Shalhoub. I picked Tony Shalhoub. That was my pick, but it could go to Alan Arkin or Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Any of those guys could get it. Even Bill Hader, Henry Way, it could go to any of them. That's why it's the toughest one. They're all so deserving of the award. Somebody's got to win. Tony Shalhoub, in my eyes.
And I think Henry Winkler won the Emmy, and that was the last TV award that before this cycle came around. And then Michael Douglas won the Golden Globe.
Okay. Andy England joined. Hey, Andy, thank you for coming on board. I don't know Andy, must be one of Robert's friends, but thanks for coming on. We're talking the SAG Awards. We just finished Best Outstanding Performance by Male Actor in a Comedy Series, and we both chose Tony Shalhoub from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which, in my opinion, best show on TV.
Yep, I agreed.
Love it. All right, Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Miniseries or Television Movie. Amy Adams for Sharp Objects, Patricia Arquette, Escape at Dannemora, Patricia Clarkson for Sharp Objects, Penelope Cruz, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, An American Crime Story, and Emma Stone for Maniac. That's a tough one because I don't watch any of these shows regularly.
Yeah.
And I watched one episode of each. And I don't know if you can get a character arc or you can really establish anybody. You know what I mean? Unless you watch the whole series. So I will say I did watch the first of Maniac with Emma Stone, and I was not into that at all. And it kind of bored me. I did watch The Assassination of Gianni Versace, the first, what was it, 3 parts, I think, or 5? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Penelope Cruz, I thought she did a fantastic job, so she's my pick out of the ones. But again, they're all strong actors, all of them. So I can't say. So Jamie watches everything, so he said Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones I don't often watch the limited series. It just, I have a hard time. It's not enough time in our lives, so sometimes I watch the shows that I make time for the shows I can watch, then I watch whatever else I'm able to. So I gave this vote to Melissa. Because she watched all of them, and she went with Emma Stone for Maniac.
Yeah. Okay. Robert says Patricia Clarkson, strong actor. She was also in House of Cards. Yep, she is in the House of Cards. She's fantastic there. I didn't really. I don't know, Robert. I didn't see enough in one episode that I watched of her, so I can't say. So I picked Penelope Cruz. You picked Emma Stone. Moving on. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a miniseries or a television movie. Now, this one, I'll tell you why I picked who I picked after I go through the nominations. Antonio Banderas, Genius Picasso. Darren Criss, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story. Hugh Grant, A Very English Scandal. Anthony Hopkins, King Lear. Bill Pullman, The Sinner. Okay, I've seen 2 of these that I've watched more than one episode. So Hugh Grant, A Very English Scandal, and Bill Pullman for The Sinner. I watched most of those, and the Hugh Grant one I watched the whole thing because that A Very English Scandal has been one of the funnier series that I've seen in a long time. It was really well written. It also has Ben Whishaw in it. You know Ben Whishaw from the James Bond. He plays the new Q.
Right.
Yeah. So he's fantastic in it. It's hilarious. It's based on a true story. And they are both phenomenal in it. And I was a little disappointed that Ben wasn't nominated, but they don't do supporting, I guess.
Yeah, they don't do supporting for TV, which is crazy.
Yeah. But Hugh Grant is my pick. He was fabulous. And, without Ben, he's not as fabulous, but because they just played so well against each other in that. So.
Right.
Darren, let's see. Darren Chris is Robert's pick for Versace. Absolutely. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. Yep. But I went with Hugh Grant. How about you, Dan? Who'd you pick?
Melissa, I gave her this one as well, and she took Darren Chris.
Okay.
She loved the Gianni Versace series, and she thought he was great in it.
Ah, cool. All right. Hey, Dan, do this for me. You're getting kind of dark, right? So if you can, let the light back in through your window because the sun is probably going down a little bit.
Cool.
It's not as bright. That way you don't have to fight that light.
Gotcha.
All right. So while Dan's adjusting his light on his end, we are going to move on to outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. This is always fun. I love this category. And of course, some of the best shows on TV are in this category. So here we go. All right, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that's good.
All right.
You don't have to fight that light anymore.
Yeah, it's
okay. Outstanding performance, Dan, by an ensemble in a drama series. This is one of your favorite shows. I just started watching it from season 1, by the way, and I'm into it. The Americans.
Yes.
That's the first nomination. The second one is Better Call Saul, which I'm eventually going to catch up on because Breaking Bad is one of my favorites. The Handmaid's Tale. My wife loves it. I'm not so into it. You know? And then Ozark. Of course, Ozark. And then This Is Us, which is one of your favorites. So here we go. You ready? Who'd you pick? Who you got?
I went with This Is Us.
This Is Us. Of course, I know you did. Let me bring that picture up. I have a picture up. Give me 1 second, and there it is. This Is Us. Boom. That's Dan's pick for best performance by an ensemble in a drama series. Very good.
Yeah. I feel like what they do a really good job of, and this is again coming back to the writers, is they let all of the characters have their own unique arcs, and so there's just a lot for those actors to play in, and I think that their interactions with each other and the chemistry that they have amongst the 8 or 9, 10 of them that are in the cast is just fantastic. But I struggled because I wanted to vote for The Americans as well. Great cast, just fantastic. I just went with This Is Us. So
yeah. Let's see. Robert says Ken looks like a pilot with a suit and a headset from Airplane. Yes. Have you ever seen a grown man naked, Jimmy? That's you can't get away with that in today's movie world. I don't think you can say that to a kid. I don't think you can get away with any of that. So I picked Ozark. Again, I really enjoy that show, and I enjoy the interaction of Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. I really think they're two really strong actors in a really strong series. So that was my pick for the best drama, was Ozark.
Cool.
I do believe that This Is Us is going to win. So, but my pick was Ozark. So,
do you like gladiator movies?
I do like gladiator movies.
You tell your old man to carry Bill Walton up the.
Yeah. Have you ever spent time in a Turkish prison? I don't know. And don't call me Shirley. That's all I have to say. All right. Outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series. Do we even need to go through the? No. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We don't even need to. Yeah, done. Check that off. Boom. Yes, I am wearing pants, Kevin Stokes, but not suit pants. They're just khakis. So sorry to disappoint, but I'm wearing pants. So, yep. Victor Coco said he liked Ozark. That was his pick. He gives it 4 claps. I guess that's what that means. Oh, yes, claps. Those are clapping hands.
Or
cool.
Handshakes. 4 handshakes. I don't know.
All right, Dan, guess what? We are down to our last category.
The final category.
You ready?
Which one thing? In on our show, we talk about things that chap our ass every now and then. It's a regular bit. It sucks that the SAG Awards decide not to televise the stunt ensemble. They either show it heading out to a commercial or heading back in from a commercial. They tell you which ones won. So That's not cool. They should definitely, you know,
It
let the
should be
stunt
involved
coordinators
in the
come up,
show.
or let
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So
It should be involved in the body of the show.
yeah,
Even if it's at the beginning, right at the front end, it's fine. But it's got to be in there. It's got to be in the show.
yes,
Also, and we can get into a debate about this, and it could go on for hours. But in my opinion, stunts should be an Oscar category. Casting should be an Oscar category. And they just seem to, because those are it's such a big part of what you see on screen nowadays, that how can you avoid that? How can you not have an award for that? I think, they talk about all this change that they should make at the Academy. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to make the change. Make it.
and there's a great, we've talked about this before. There's a great documentary called Casting By, and for a long time, casting wasn't even in the credits of a film. The directors felt that they're the ones that cast the movie. And what's the Trevor? I can't think of his last name. He's married to Helen Mirren. Is it Trevor? I can't. I'm blanking on his last name. But he had this whole thing is I cast the movie. They just brought me people. Well, yeah, they went through thousands of headshots and people that they knew were right for the role, and they called them in for you to see.
That's just ego, Dan, talking. You know that.
What is his name? That's gonna piss me off.
Yeah, and I actually auditioned for him, and I can't remember his name either. I'm blanking on it. Oh well. Big Bang Theory was not nominated for Best Comedy Ensemble, Jamie. This is like one of the first years they haven't been nominated in a long time.
Taylor Hackford.
Yes, Taylor Hackford. Yeah. Taylor Hackford, yeah. And, Taylor Hackford's a good director, but, dude, it's a collaboration, and you got a lot of help from, your casting directors. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, that maybe you went out and talked to, like, the main actors, like the main characters, and you brought them in. But all the surrounding folk and everybody else, that's pretty much the casting director presenting to you colors to work with, and you chose those colors based on what they provided you, and they put a lot of work into that. So yeah, there should be an award at the Oscars for casting.
Correct.
So, all right. So that being said, let's move on to our outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a television series.
And this was a hard one.
It was, but not so hard for me.
Okay.
Because you'll hear why as we go. Excuse me. All right. So Glow.
Yep.
Roller skating, wrestling, all kinds
roller
of
derby.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, no, so not roller. Yeah, the
wrestling.
The wrestling.
Yeah. Marvel's Daredevil. Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead. And Westworld, which has a lot. They all have a lot of cool stunts, but my pick, the fight scenes in Marvel's Daredevil, are just intense in close spaces, so fast, so quick, so cool. So the choreography is fantastic, and it's a full season of doing stunts, man. It's good. It's good stuff. I'm a little disappointed that the Punisher wasn't in there because there were a lot of cool, but at least one Netflix got nominated. So I guess you got to spread the love, get it to the other. Go ahead.
And that was my vote for the same reason.
Okay.
They always have those just bananas fight scenes that take place in like a hallway or a closet or a freezer, a walk-in freezer or something, and there's just like 1,000 people, and keep in mind that they're doing a lot of it with their lead actor, who's pretending to be blind while doing all this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then it's just so much fun to watch those fight scenes, and they always, and I've worked with some of these stunt guys. As a matter of fact, I got a chance to work with some of them this week. I got to work with the stunt choreographer for Daredevil. He wasn't he wasn't the choreographer for this shoot that I was working on, but he was one of the main participants who comes in and has a fight. And just watch those guys design the fight, because I was there for the stunt rehearsal. And just to watch those guys design the fight, work through it, and work through it again, and then when they got to set, knowing that they had to adjust and do all the things that they had to do, it was fantastic to see the amount of work. And those guys have to do that like on the fly, because they don't have a lot of time, and they don't get a lot of time to get out there and work through it sometimes. They just gotta, yep, okay, we got it, and then they make the adjustment, and it looks fantastic. And they did such a good job, and just working with those guys and seeing, yeah, those guys deserve the stunt award. So the guys at Daredevil, I really think they do. So, and I met the guy who was the choreographer, and he was a really nice guy, and he did a great job on the shoot I was on. So, you know, I'm kind of biased. Hey, just saying.
I'm about 4 episodes into this season of Punisher.
Yep,
and
me too.
I do feel like, especially the episode where he was out in the woods when the police station is under siege. I feel like they took a lot of inspiration from John Wick, the way he worked through them all.
Yep. Well, there's a scene coming up, and you probably haven't seen it yet, in the gym. Have you seen the gym scene yet?
No.
Oh, watch that fight scene.
Okay.
You're going to like that. It's coming, but yeah, you're not quite up to it yet. But you're going to see. There's a fight in the gym, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's pretty badass. Jamie Nash, the new Magnum wasn't nominated and should never be nominated or mentioned ever again in my presence, whether online or in person. Because if you ever did it to me in person, I would throat punch you. Just saying. Just forget about it. And, hey, but you know what? If they call me and want me to audition, I'm going to audition. I'm like, yep, all right, I'll do it. I'm in. Let's do it.
I already have my shirt.
Yeah. I'll bring my Hawaiian shirt.
Original.
And my Detroit Tiger hat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kevin Stokes asks, do you have any future nominations for next year's awards with TV series first year shows? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say The Enemy Within. I don't know why. It's going to be such a good show. But, you know, I'm just going to say that right now.
Was that a pilot?
No.
No. Okay. Obviously, Game of Thrones comes back this year, and that's going to be, you know, it wasn't in this cycle because they skipped the year. From what I've read, there's only 6 episodes, but each one is the length of a movie. So they basically made 6 movies. So it's going to be some pretty crazy stuff coming up. I can't freaking wait. So I imagine that'll be, you know,
April, right?
April. And so next SAG Awards, you'll have the goodbye tour of SAG Awards and Golden Globes and Emmys will be the goodbye tour of Game of Thrones. So I'm sure, you know,
they're gonna sweep a lot.
And
yeah. They're gonna sweep a lot. They're gonna win a lot. Yes, the ads do look really good for Enemy Within. I was checking that out.
I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Oh, you will. Trust me.
But it was funny. So you posted that picture last week in front of that Hope sculpture up in New York.
Yeah.
And we were walking out to where the theater was that we were going to see a play on Friday night. And there it was. I was like, I have to grab a picture with that.
That was hilarious. You were on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And they were like, he's on the other side. Whoop, you got to be faster than that. You got to be faster than that. And then DeLuca puts himself on top of it, which was hysterical.
I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, you didn't say. Go back to the thread. And he posted a picture of him. He's like, yeah, you guys missed me. And he's sitting on the top. So it was pretty funny. So you know what? We went through everything. Those are our picks for the awards this year, the SAG Awards, which screen tonight at 8 p.m. on TNT and TBS. And then it replays again at 10 o'clock. But we are... actually, Dan and I are going to an award screening party in D.C. tonight, so I'll see you there, Dan, tonight.
Yep. Leaving here shortly.
Yep, I'll be leaving here as well, and it's going to be fun. I'm not going to be dressed this nicely, Dan. I'm going to go casual because they said casual.
Cool.
So I'm going to do that, and that's it. We'll see you guys for Appletinis with Ken tomorrow night, the regularly scheduled Appletinis with Ken. We'll be back on for tomorrow night, so join us then for Appletinis. We'll be here showing you how to act drunk, method style. So that'll be what we'll be doing. So what else? Yes, the Masked Singer, Jamie, is going to win a lot of awards next year, but not.
I'm convinced that Donny Osmond is the what is the peacock or whatever. The one is Donny Osmond. I guarantee it.
Yes. Have you watched that? You watch the show?
We watch it every week.
I can't do it.
I'm addicted to it, man.
I can't do it. I'm probably gonna get in and get addicted to. That's my fear.
Yeah.
That's my fear. So, all right. Yes, may the best men and women win. No, I will not be wearing my Eagles polo shirt tonight. I will not wear that to the SAG Awards. You're welcome, Victor Coco. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Jamie Nash, Robert Neal Marshall, Kevin Stokes, Victor Coco, Amy Young, everybody who joined us today. Thank you for watching. Watch the SAG Awards tonight. It's a fantastic award show.
And then watch us tomorrow night. It's our pre-Super Bowl edition of the Appletinis with Ken.
It is our pre-Super Bowl edition, and we'll tell you who our picks are. Do we really need to tell people who our picks are? We all know because everybody hates Tom Brady.
I don't.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night on the regular Appletinis. Thanks for joining us today for the SAG Awards special. We do this every year, or at least we're going to try to do it every year. And
yeah, I think we missed last year, but we've been doing it.
Yep. So we'll see you guys later. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Tune in tonight. We'll see you later. Peace. See you later, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks.